how are you? I hope you're doing great today. It is a super fun one right now for Inspirator LIFE. Inspirator LIFE with Erin Kreitz Shirey, and we've got some magic that will be happening today. And I'm kind of giggling as I look through. My hair is fresh from swim training earlier. Had no idea what the mermaid action was going to be, and it is rather kind of crazy right now. But anyhow, it is a fun day here in Boise, and you're going to have fun right now with my amazing special guest who is already here. Yay! And so I hope you guys will gradually pop on. I'm going to bring in Heather in just a second here. Here we go. Add on Heather to camera. Fantastic. Oh, it froze up. So let's hope it doesn't freeze up today. But for those of you joining in, you guys, this is a good one. And this is a great day. It is the 17th of May. It is a crazy day here weather-wise in Boise. It's a bit rainy. There were thunderstorms last night. And oh, I hear Heather. There's Heather. Hi. Yay.
Hi.
Oh, good. Okay, so sorry, hold on one second. I got some link that was popping through. And so, Heather, I just announced with the world that you are popping on right now, but I didn't do your backstory or anything. So
you take your time.
You bet. So I'm going to right now, because I want to share how we met and all that good jazz.
Okay.
So for those of you popping on, hi, Carrie, how are you doing? Hopefully England is treating you well right now. It must be very festive with the new wedding that's about to happen. So exciting. And the baby that was just born. But anyhow, guys, so Erin Kreitz Shirey, Inspirator coach, and I am here with Heather Denniston, who is amazing. I'm just going to call you the health guru, the phenomenon, the amazing athlete. Also just an all-around phenomenal woman that I'm excited to share with all of you, because she is just going to be full of so many pearls of wisdom that you're going to love. Hi, Andrea. How are you doing? So for those of you popping on, do me a favor, give Heather some hearts, give her some love, because she deserves all these accolades and more. Heather is, are you still a practicing chiropractor?
I see patients. I don't have a brick and mortar. I see patients at home on occasion. It's not my main gig anymore, but absolutely, I couldn't exist if I didn't get my hands on at least a couple people every week.
You were up here. I missed the chiropractor from home. Where's the But so Heather and I met. Let me give this background, and then Heather's going to introduce herself. So Heather and I met. It was, I think, 4 years ago now, when we were in Denver. No, it wasn't 4 years. Was it in Denver, Heather? Isn't that correct?
It was the fit blogging in Denver.
So it was 3 years ago then, when we were in Denver.
Yeah.
And she was in one of my programs that I had led that was about, exercising in the smallest space possible. And then afterward, we were talking back and forth for a bit and just really clicked and connected. And I love the fact that Heather is ever changing and ever growing with her fitness, her wellness for herself, but also with what she wants to share with the world. And she just launched the Change Cave, which I'm excited to be a part of. And it is her brand new little baby that she's going to be able to share all of that with you, as well as Well Fit and Fed. And if you're not on the email list for that, you need to join her Well Fit and Fed newsletter. We'll put all these links in down below as this wonderful half hour progresses. But so Heather, why don't you share with us a little bit about yourself and what it is in Well Fit and Fed, and just who the heck you are.
Okay. I want to say a shout out to Jennifer Anaker and Kimberly Peak, who are watching right now. Thanks, ladies, for joining. And it's great to see you. And thank you so much for having me on. I could give sort of the same opener to you, because your whole life is surrounded in a happy cloud of inspiration, both going out and coming in and all of that. And so I've just been so influenced by you as well. So I love that we've maintained a relationship after those few years, after just meeting briefly at Fit Blogging. I love that about those kinds of conferences. But I'm Heather Denniston. She said I'm a chiropractor. I've been a chiropractor for 22 years. I recently stepped away from brick and mortar practice because I was led to cast my net of health and wellness education a little broader. And that started as a blog, the Well Fit and Fed blog. So at the minimum, like Erin said, you can get great resources there. There's over 200 articles published on that blog, and all aspects of wellness, from fit to fed to well. And there's some business stuff on there too, if you're interested. But I did launch the Change Cave in March, and that is a 12-module online learning institute that incorporates accountability, bulletproof resources, and an incredible, powerful, wellness-driven community. And that's just a little membership program that I have going. It's a really fun group. It's just $24 a month to be involved with that. And it's fantastic. And I'm so appreciative that you let me share that, because the impact I'm seeing happen just in the first 60 days has been well beyond my expectations. So, and the other thing is, kudos to you. You were one of my first guest presenters in that program. And I was like, oh my gosh, she's agreeing to present for me. I'm so happy. And it kind of opened the floodgate. I've got some great expert presenters that came through the program, participating in the modules. And so it's not just me being the talking head, but I get lots of great information from different experts in their field. And so a big thank you for you spearheading, being a part of that. So very much thank you. Oh, but I like to just tell, because you see a snapshot of somebody on a live presentation, and we all make kind of assumptions and things about people. And I think it's important that we know especially people who are promoting health and wellness, that we understand where their backstory came from, and that it's not always a picture of perfection, right? Or it's not always that, it's an evolution to where we get. And it's a constant. I'm constantly tweaking and changing what I do. But just briefly, I came from a household of two much older sisters and a mother who was kind of done raising kids. So I was largely independent, and I found solace in junk food very quickly. And I would ride my bike down, and I would buy a big bag of junk food, and I would eat and eat and eat in the confines of my room, sometimes my closet. I did not know that I was one of the first closet bingers. And the amount of calories I was taking in would make your head spin, like close to 3,000 a day, and most of that sugar. So the impact on my insulin and all of that functioning in my body was disastrous. But I was a gymnast at the time.
I have a question for you with that. How old were you? This is like your teenage years that we're talking about right now?
Not even, about 7, 8, 9 was probably the worst of it. Yeah. Okay. Well, the beginnings of the worst of it. Yeah. But I grew about 7 inches in a year. So a Mastiff puppy doesn't do back handsprings on a beam. So I had to quit the sport. And I just was like, okay, yeah. Can you just hold on? It wasn't pretty. You need a tagline that's. I'm like, why can't I do these anymore? So I quit the sport, and concurrently I went off to boarding school, which was an incredibly powerful and wonderful experience. But sending a young undiagnosed overeater to boarding school is like sending a cocaine addict into a cozy crack den. It's not good. And so my eating spiraled, and I ended up at college at 175 pounds, about 30 pounds overweight. By the end of year one, I was 235. It was completely out of control. And the thing was, I was working out. I went to the gym. I did stuff, but what I didn't understand is I wasn't working out right for my body as a female, and right. Mm-hmm. And I just wasn't doing the things that were going to be effective, and I was not making the right changes in my eating. Yes, I was starving myself for 3 days, and then I would binge eat, and then I'd just eat grapefruit and pumpkin seeds for 4 days. And then I, did all the crazy things that we did back then when we had limited information. And eventually I got to chiropractic school, and suddenly it was like a cold water on a hot August day. I was surrounded with people who were fit and healthy and knew so much about nutrition. I just surrounded myself. Hey, Jess. And I just surrounded myself, and I took it as a personal and professional quest to learn as much as I possibly could about nutrition, fitness, and mindset. And so that's where it all started. And so 22 years later, after practicing chiropractic and teaching this to my patients, and getting a lot in control. I am still an addicted overeater. Addiction never leaves you. You can have it in control, and you can conquer a lot of it, but it's always a struggle. And so constantly I'm still working and tweaking my eating program and how I exercise and all that, because we keep learning new things. And so I like to share that with people. I like to encourage and inspire people to step outside their own box of what they think was going to work and know that's not going to work, and really work to open up their mind. And so that's how I got to where I'm at.
I love it. You know what's actually interesting that you brought that up today, though, too, because even the background piece of it a little bit, as with fitness and wellness, people look at it, all of us in the industry, as if you do have it so perfectly chimed in every single day, as if every of what you do is going to be eating spinach for breakfast and this for lunch, and to where you're going to only green tea. Hi, I'm having a cup of coffee and it's 1 o'clock, so I'm freezing cold, honestly. And I get cold really easily, but I was I'm like, I'm having a cup of coffee at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and other be like, don't drink coffee after 9. No, you know what?
Right.
I need a cup of coffee, and I'm okay with that. And
and I think it gets into that sort of that 80-20, is that if you can get 80% dialed in on a consistent basis, then yes, there's flex and there's room for making choiceful, not cheats, right? Yeah. Choiceful decisions, choiceful adult decisions. I was at a party recently and I leaned over. This was hysterical. I leaned over and I grabbed 4 M&Ms and I popped them in my mouth. 5 people on a couch went, oh, and I'm like,
I want the M&M.
What? And they're like, you eat M&Ms? I'm like, oh, sister. Yeah. I don't know what I'm putting out there to make it seem like, there may be people in the industry who are that dialed in. That's not me. But I have figured out a few tricks. I figured out a few practical applications that people can do. And that's kind of what evolved into the Change Cave, is teaching that on a monthly basis of practical exercises that people can do in their nutrition and fitness and mindset, personal goals, and we accomplish them together.
I love it. I love it so much. And I love just being realistic as well, and how it's ever changing too, because you have different chapters of life where something might have worked for you. And as you evolve, hence it's also a changing cave in the bigger picture. Right?
Yeah,
to where
for sure
5 years ago might not work for you now. I actually shared on Facebook a bit. I was like, look, I got into a habit of having 1 glass of wine at night because it's been stressful, sometimes 2 or 3. That's not a good habit, but it's very across the country, right? So having a stressful day, go have a glass of wine. Oh, you're having it every night, but still to where it's a habit. I'm going, this isn't a good habit I like. And having had the eating disorder when I was younger, similar to yourself, you were an overeater. I didn't, but I'm going, I know this is a habit. No, we're changing this, and I put it. If I can help somebody else by me sharing my story, then that will help them think, wait, is this a habit? Or what am I doing right now? I need to change this out, right? And so, but being realistic about that, because when you are in health and fitness and wellness, everyone thinks that you're always dialed in. So like the 4 M&Ms, you'll have 4 M&Ms. It's just fine. It's okay. You're having 4 M&Ms and it's okay.
And it's so much more about what you practice consistently, and the odd thing that you choose to do that's a little off plan and very choiceful and you're conscious about it. Those are fine. Like you say, it's when you are losing control and things are running you. That glass of wine is running you. You're not, in charge of it. And so that's great. It was a good example.
But so with that, so I have a question for you with evolving athletically, because this is really, hi Andy, hey Jess, how are you doing? This is one I would love for you to share your story too, when it comes to what you do now with the inline skating. Actually, you even shared a fun photo last week on Facebook of you eating it pretty bad. I was like, oh God, that looks like it hurts so.
Oh yeah.
But how do you get into inline skating? You're pretty competitive with inline skating too, aren't you?
I have been. I've taken a bit of a sabbatical from that. I still blade 4 times a week.
Okay.
But it's funny that you mentioned that injury, because the story may not be what you think, but it's a good story to share because it talks about motivating yourself and inspiring yourself. Many of you know the Strava app. It's an app that you can use to track your run or your walk or your hike or your bike, and you can compete against yourself or a leaderboard of other folks who have ridden the same segment. Well, I wrote a blog post last year about becoming queen of the mountain on this one hike I did. And it like I flew for days on that. I was so excited. It was so motivating for me. I was queen of the mountain. I was number 1 on the leaderboard. Well, I got knocked off. I got dethroned.
Oh,
and it was about like 3 days ago. I'm like, excuse me, Catherine Dickert, whoever you are. No. And so I went up there the next morning and ran my tushy off, and I beat my own time and I beat her time, and I did a big old post about it, but I smashed my leg in the process. And I don't encourage harming yourself to make a goal, but it was just a funny thing. It's like, nobody's telling me to do that. I got inspired by Catherine Dickert, who doesn't even know I exist. And I said, Catherine, no, I'm up. And so that's where that gash came from. And I was actually super proud of it. I brought it home to show him. I didn't wipe anything off. I brought it home. I showed my husband. Yeah, it's really funny. But the inline skating is such a great sport. I wish more people did it. It's safe as long as you learn how to do it properly. It's low impact. It's incredible cardio. And what you're talking about is I did inline skating marathons for many years. And what those are is they literally are a 26-mile route, and you do it on your inline skates. And the guys who are at the front of the line are going 33, 37 miles an hour. They are booking it. And it's funny because I trained for my first one thinking I would just train like a running marathon. So I downloaded a running marathon training guide. I did all the training. I was like, I've got this. Well, I started out and I didn't realize inline skating marathons are more like a bike race, not a running race. So you draft, and I'd never drafted before. You pull in behind other skaters, and all of a sudden somebody's got their hand on my butt, and I've got my nose in somebody's tushy. And I'm like, what's going on here? And then I'm like, oh, wait, I hardly have to work at all. I've got total wind resistance here. So I just tucked right in, and I did the best time ever. But it was a bit of a surprise that it was more, it's kind of like life. It's more sprints and stop and sprint and
How
stop.
are the downhills with that? Is it actually kind of scary sometimes? Because like with cycling wise, when you said made me think of cycling, like the first time I did the death ride, which is it's called the Tour of the California Alps now because sadly someone has died on it. But it's 5 mountain passes. I don't mean like passively, like, somebody died. But that means 5 mountain passes. It is,
yes.
How many, it's thousands of feet of climbing. I can't remember off the top of my head right now how many thousands of feet of climbing it is. But you go up and then go way down, right? And so
oh my gosh.
Up because being short and compact, like that's the strength, right? Is the climbing. But downhills,
yes.
I just pull back a bit and I white knuckle it because I've seen people topple over their handlebars. So but that bicycle, so I cannot even imagine for you on inline skates how it's fun.
Yeah.
The adrenaline part's so super fun, but at the same point, do you find yourself that you want to go a little bit faster, but you pull back a little bit just because there's also 15 years old anymore and you know that you can fall and get hurted, like
yeah. And actually, I'm probably the wrong person to ask because I literally signed up for the Napa Inline Skate Marathon. I went there, I got there the night before, I drove the course, and I dropped out because the hills, like I'm like you, I can climb up anything, but I'm not willing to risk my life going down something at 40 miles an hour on skates with a little dinky helmet.
Yeah.
So now there's an inline skate marathon in Duluth, Minnesota, literally flat except for one hill and one down. It's beautiful, and that's my favorite. Okay. There's another one that was running. I look for flat marathons. I'm kind of picky that way.
Oh, that's funny. Well, it is fun though because like that downhill part is fun, but it just is. It's scary, I'm already thinking about Coeur d'Alene half Ironman at the end of June. And I probably should go check the course before, just the downhill part. I'm going, I wonder how much downhill's on.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully there's lots of climbing up and then maybe flat. Not really.
Yeah.
I want the downhill.
I know that's the problem with those, hi, Michael. Hi, John. With those hills, you got to come down at some point. So, I bite through them. And, on skates, it's hard because the braking system it's tricky on downhill. You kind of just have to go with it. And so that's how I do it.
So I have a question for you because some nuggets that come up with many Inspirators. So for those of you popping on that don't even know who are some of Heather's friends that don't know who I am. So I'm an Inspirator coach, and an Inspirator is an inspiration and motivator in one. And my daughter Emerson came up with that word when she was 5 years old. So I've got 3 girls.
So awesome.
Medical miracle, but she came up with that word. She is my wordsmith. She also came up with the word multitastic, which means just doing 2 at once. Okay. So you're multitasking and you're fantastic just by doing 2 things. Just came up with the 2.
Oh, that's awesome.
Eating a bicycle, eating an apple while riding a scoot bike. She goes, hey, I'm multitasking. I'm eating an apple and riding a bicycle. Aren't I great? I'm like, yes, you are great. And of course, I quickly wrote that down too. But anyhow, an Inspirator, though, is an inspiration motivator in one. And one of the nuggets, though, that I work with so many of my clients with, also, and I'm also a personal trainer, guys. So with being in the wellness industry is dealing with stress and how you can inspire yourself to, when you deal with stress, to have healthy habits to deal with stress, to really, go outside and go for a hike. If you find yourself getting more stressed out at the beginning of the day, then do it at the beginning of the day. Or what do you do when you're overwhelmed with work? Or what do you do when you're overwhelmed with kids? Or life or trying to help a client and you can't do the work for them, right? I mean, I work with so many clients are going, oh, we just want you to do this consistently. And they aren't sometimes going, oh, but I know you can do it. I got faith in you. And it gives a little bit of stress, honestly, because you want everyone to succeed so beautifully. But
for sure.
For yourself, though, what would you say would be 3 ways to really help people alleviate their stress? Or what do you do when you find yourself in a stressful nugget? Just kind of decompress and pull back.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to answer this question the way you want me to, but I'm going to try.
Oh, right.
The first thing I'm going to, thank you. The first thing I'm going to say is one of the things I've been working on, because with clients for so many years, what I found is we talk about life balance, about what if I had more balance, I'd be less stressed. If I, but we never get there. There's never a there. There's always life craziness and things happening, and there's balance. Even when you see 2 kids on a teeter-totter, they're not balanced. They're doing this, right? They're like, even if they are sitting still, there are still micro movements happening to help them sit still. Mm-hmm. So I've adopted the concept of integration. So instead of focusing on stress and balance and this, it's how do we integrate your crazy life in a more acceptable way to you and your health. And so, yes, you still have to go to work 40 hours a week. You still need to get to the gym. You still need to meal prep. How do we make those things more ease, more efficient, more available to you, more practical? So that's number 1.
Love it.
Number two, I would say when you are taking a break and you are having downtime, I recently just had a great speaker, James Garrett, who speaks all over the world on brain, habits, happiness, all sorts. He's fantastic if you want to check him out, James Garrett.
Okay.
He talks about how whenever we take breaks, what's the first thing we do? We quickly, and we go on our phones.
Taking a break.
And the chemical dump that happens with the decisions you have to make, like, swipe, go over to Pinterest, like you are making constant decisions. That's more glucose drain on your brain. It's not restful. So taking rests for rests, which is a nap, it's yoga, it's stretching, it's a walk, it's listening to music, it's doing art, it's laughing and doing nothing. Those are your options. And so not going to we all think, I'm going to scroll Facebook. It's mindless. It's not mindless. So making sure that your breaks are very intentional away from, get out of that glucose dump. And then finally, number 3 is there's a great book out called Tiny Habits. And it talks about how some of the straight CEOs, like big CEOs, big companies from Apple, and they wear the same thing to work every day. So somebody said, why are you guys wearing the same thing to work every day? It's like, I make 1,000 decisions a day. And your brain can only make so many decisions in a day. So I need to save my decision bucket for decisions that are actually important. So my encouragement to reduce stress in your life is reduce the amount of decisions you have to make in a day. Wear the same outfit. Make the same meals Monday, Tuesday, have a meal plan where you're like, it's spaghetti on Monday, it's pork chops on Tuesday. Integrate into your life practices that are consistent and rote so they become habits so you don't have to make a decision when you're going to do them. Those are my 3.
That third one, though, and it was number 2, number 3, we've been talking about that a lot. I've been talking about it so much with actually a lot of that is going into my next course I'm doing is all energy. Because people, energy. Stephanie Sikora is an organizer, and her background is in fitness. And she actually was a few weeks ago on Inspirator LIFE. And she's at the retreat. She's doing a special presentation at the retreat.
Fantastic.
Because all energy. It all comes down to we only have so much energy too. And even with the phone, when you're swiping or doing this, it's all energy that you don't. Who wants to waste on decisions like that? You want to use your energy for things that you love, that make you feel good, that inspire you, and also the downtime is so important. It is so important. I love that take a nap, read, art. People forget about They forget about
I know they do.
An adult coloring book. I was talking with a client and I said, you know what? Your brain is going crazily. Just buy yourself a coloring book. I don't care whatever it is, but get an adult coloring book and let yourself sit down and just color. She goes, really?
Well, and
she started doing it for weeks, and she's like, I'm so less stressed than I was before.
That's so awesome. And I think too, Erin, I think people have to realize too that problem solving doesn't happen when you're decision making.
No.
So if you're constantly decision making, problem solving, ideas, spontaneity, creative thought, none of that happens when you're over here.
Mm-hmm.
So if you run a business or you have a family to make big decisions about, or you have a problem you're trying to solve, you can't do it over here. You have to move yourself over to here so your brain can start just throwing out things, and then two stick together, and then all of a sudden a third one, and then there's your solution. So I think that's key, but that's great info. I love the coloring book idea. That's awesome.
It's so funny because I'm like, dude, I'm a personal trainer. Why am I prescribing coloring books? I'm like, you know what? You need that, you know? And
you are a whole health specialist. That's what you are.
Into that, but you know what I mean, though. So,
yeah, I do.
So for adventures, what I love so much is that you and your husband take beautiful adventures, and part, of course, of living life is having the most fun adventures possible, but being fit and active in order to make the adventure much more plentiful and much more enjoyable, and the scenery and everything. But recently, you were just in France and took a fabulous adventure. So when you travel, what would be some of your favorite fitness adventures, and how would you say that you enjoy traveling most by living fit but living inspired? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. So I could number one right off, best fitness adventure was doing the Camino de Santiago trail in Spain. So for those, it's a pilgrimage trail. We did not do the whole thing. It's 6 weeks. We did 1 week on it, but you're walking about 25K a day. And it's incredibly inspirational because you can't do anything other than focus on the road in front of you. And it's funny, when I can't fall asleep now, I think of the path and I think of my husband's heels in front of me and watch him walking, and it completely decompresses me and relaxes me. So I definitely loved that. I also recently visited, I did some promotional work for a resort spa in Zion called WellFit. Okay. Ironically, sort of similar to the name of my website. Yeah. And those retreats, and there's lots of different ones where you go and somebody cooks for you and you eat super well and you do 3 fitness classes a day and you just get centered. And it's not like you're going to go home and do that exact same routine, but you learn a lot, and that was really great too. So I did love that. And I would say when I shifted my thinking, so my husband and I probably do about 30 to 35 trips a year. We do a lot. We do 1 or 2 a month. And some are short, some are long. And what I'll call adventures, because they're not all getting on a plane. But we very intentionally about 5 years ago say this is the adventurous life we want to lead. I call it E factor. I mean, multiple times a year I want to go I want to be so excited about something new I'm seeing or some experience we're having. And so, but the thing that I think is important is you have to be healthy and well enough to enjoy it and not be exhausted when you get there, and be able to climb that last little bit of the wall so you can see the vista, and go on these little excursions and treks with people, that if you can't keep up, then you don't get to see all the great stuff. So that's super key. And then I always, non-negotiable is workouts on vacation. A lot of people see vacation as an opportunity to slack off. I'm like, You have the freedom. You get up, you do 30 minutes. I love to do long, drawn out workouts because they're very good for my brain. I have an anxiety thing and my brain really does well with that. And it's a great opportunity to walk and see the area, try out a local gym. It's great. So I definitely make that a non-negotiable, and that keeps my energy up and keeps me inspired during the trip.
That is so why I love you, because you think the same way that I do. Sorry. Well, because Jack and I, one of our biggest things for our family, and even every other year we go to Hawaii, right, with my own family, and every other year it's this family trip to Hawaii. And as everyone's sleeping, Jack and I are up early in the morning, and we go out there and we're running, and I'm swimming in the bay so I can get my miles in swimming wise, and then we've got
that's awesome
on the palm tree. And it's just who we are versus some that wake up and they sit down and they're at the beach all day. And then by the end of it, they're going, oh, I need a vacation from the vacation. I'm like, no, your vacation needs to be an active vacation. You be exercising every single day. And you can fit in out windows wherever you go. And you see more you travel, the healthier that you are. Like you just said, that you want to be active to where you can enjoy that experience so richly versus going home and going, oh, now I need to detox. And I hear that quite a bit.
Yes.
So
yeah.
I'm so glad it's something so important. Hey, Kelly, how are you doing? And I hear that so much. And it as a, even not somebody who's in health and wellness, but it makes me go, no, really be active every day. Enjoy the healthy foods. Have special treats. Be active throughout to where you can really enjoy the experience.
For sure.
Feel good.
And there are times you need to go to a retreat where you sleep as much as you want to sleep and you just do stretches and yoga, but do something.
Yeah.
And just be cognizant, Erin, like you're saying, when you travel as much as my husband and I do, you can't go on vacation nutrition time where you're doing margaritas at lunch every day when you travel as many days as we do. And I do really think that, like, when you go for that week at Christmas or you go do a trip somewhere, it's not a chance to just completely derail. Have some flexibility for sure. Enjoy the local flair, but when you derail completely, it's 3 or 4 weeks when you get back trying to recover, and it's depressing.
Well, it is.
So
it changes. It's also that mindset part where it's like I'm off and on versus how about you live, but then you live healthy.
So, well, and you are, sorry, go ahead.
I put a little plug in there because the retreats are amazing, especially Inspirator retreats. I have 3 spots left in Hawaii that's in September. So just saying.
Oh, that's awesome.
I know, I would love
and I want to
come to one of the retreats.
Sorry, I wanted to bring up one thing that you said, because it was one thing that you taught me at Fit Blogging 3 years ago. And can I just say hi to Jackie Green and Lance Cummins? Love that you guys are watching. Thanks for checking out the show today with Erin.
Heather's hearts. I just totally interrupted you. I'm so sorry, but give her some hearts and some love right now, guys, because she's taking her time to share all these nuggets of wisdom with you. And so another Heather popped onto Heather Harper. Hi, Heather. How are you? So
it's funny. I think you see your people and I'm seeing my people. That's really funny. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so the little gem you gave me was, like, I throughout my fitness journey have been getting closer and closer and closer to the concept of, it's not one workout time during your day, it's windows of opportunities. And you talked about this experience you had with your kids while you guys were cooking dinner and there was 15 minutes to go on something. And you're like, okay, frog jumps around the island. Okay, we're gonna do squats. And people are like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. It's like, no, it's just because you haven't come all this way to see that no, movement and fitness should be integrated into many parts of your day. And I loved that. And I started to teach that more about windows of opportunity. And so I wanted to thank you for that, just because that is such a great lesson that you don't need an hour at the gym. I mean, literally stand up and do 10 jump squats. And that multiple times a day is way more effective than your 30 minutes at the gym. So thank you for that.
Oh, yay. I'm so glad that stuck. I really am. It's funny because as you just said that, I'm looking at here, I'll show you guys just a little bit here. So just this is a little shelf right here, right? It's our front window seat. But I taught a client earlier, she goes, I don't have space in my house. I'm like, do you have a window seat? Do you have a bench? And we did a full workout. I showed her how to do a full workout on just this window seat. She goes, oh my God.
That's awesome.
Look at my house so differently now. I said, see, there's opportunity wherever you go.
Yeah. That's so true. Like, we put, a lot of the walls and boundaries are self-imposed. We erect those brick walls ourselves. And so we also have to knock them down.
Totally. So true. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So let's see. I'm trying to make sure. Okay. I have a question for you. With your business as it is evolving, because I work with so many different entrepreneurs, and this is so many, and I love this on every Thursday because of the fact that everyone that's on here shares some different nuggets. But you've had business now for 22 years. Well, you've been a chiropractor for 22 years, but where you've had your own business pretty much that whole time, correct?
I did, yeah.
And so as it's evolved, what are your 3 biggest goals for your business for this next year? So from May 17th, 2018 to May 17th, 2019. What would be your 3 biggest goals? Nothing like putting me on the spot.
My 3 biggest, my 3 biggest goals are to grow the Change Cave, to double it, basically. Okay. Number 2 is I have the goal to get in front of more 30 to 65-year-old corporate women as a presenter or a speaker. Mm-hmm. And number 3 is to get opportunities to travel with the nature of the work I'm doing. And so I've been doing a little bit of travel fitness blogging and I love it so much, and we're there anyway. So it would be great to do that too. And my business has evolved so much because being in a brick and mortar for so long, your ambitions and parameters are so different than when you're in the online space. So a lot of the online space as an entrepreneur has to do with, how do I create the life I want to create, generate the income you need to live that life, and still have lots of freedom and love what you're doing. And I do. So that's great.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. And you will be in front of so many more women just by even putting it out there, And,
yeah, for sure.
And the change came, of course it's going to double in the next year because it's amazing. And
thank you.
Travels are going to happen because you're going to me.
Awesome.
So
yeah, thank you.
Love it. Well, do you have other nuggets that you would love to share with everybody? Well, we'll put all of your links right down below.
I do. I want to say hi to Cherry O'Neill. It's great you're watching, Cherry. Good to see you. I'm going to tell a quick story and then leave with 3 inspirational tips. Is that okay with you?
Actually, I forgot to ask you, who are your top 3 inspirators? Sorry. That's my last one.
Ooh. I would say Brene Brown. No brainer. And I love watching Paleo OMG and her name is just spacing me right now because I know her as Paleo OMG. So if you haven't checked her out, she's got a great website and a great Instagram. She's very energetic. She's very, I love that you. And I do. So that's great.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. And you will be in front of so many more women just by even putting it out there, And,
yeah, for sure.
And the change came, of course it's going to double in the next year because it's amazing. And
thank you.
Travels are going to happen because you're going to me.
Awesome.
So
yeah, thank you.
Love it. Well, do you have other nuggets that you would love to share with everybody? Well, we'll put all of your links right down below.
I do. I want to say hi to Cherry O'Neill. It's great you're watching, Cherry. Good to see you. I'm going to tell a quick story and then leave with 3 inspirational tips. Is that okay with you?
Actually, I forgot to ask you, who are your top 3 inspirators? Sorry. That's my last one.
Ooh. I would say Brene Brown. No brainer. And I love watching Paleo OMG and her name is just spacing me right now because I know her as Paleo OMG. So if you haven't checked her out, she's got a great website and a great Instagram. She's very energetic. She's very, I love that you really see her daily life and how she lives out living cleanly and exercising and all that. So I do love that. Oh, I know I'm going to get off this interview and go, no, I forgot this other one. Todd Herman is a business coach of mine and completely inspirational. He's transformed my life in the last 90 days. And so that would count as inspiration.
Good. He's a good one too.
Yeah.
Really, really good one. It makes you forget time so different to where you have power over your time versus time having power over you. So
yes, that's very good. He would be so proud that you said that.
Oh, does he say that? I always use that. So I have no idea.
Very
like that.
Very similar. Something very similar. But no, it's great because that's kind of where his whole thing starts, right?
Yeah.
It's great.
So, oops, sorry,
good.
The whole battery thing just went on. So share the story and your 3 nuggets.
Okay.
What is your lovely story?
Okay. One of my favorite inspirational stories to tell is about 3 years ago, I went to the Stampede Rodeo in Alberta, and we go every year because we have family there. And we were there, and some of you might know that the rodeo is largely male dominated. There is one event for women, and it's barrel racing. Unfortunately, it comes right before intermission. So most people just kind of start to file out as the barrel racing is happening. I did not. And thank goodness, because I got a story that was fantastic out of it. So when you barrel race, you come out, you go around 1 barrel, a 2nd barrel, a 3rd barrel, and you race for home. And barrel racing is largely 22 to 27-year-old, very beautiful women who, not to generalize, but they come from wealthy families. They have very expensive horses. It's a luxury sport. So these girls are going and their times are happening, and it's just kind of consistently what I've seen in the past. And then all of a sudden this woman comes out and she rides like lightning, like nothing I've ever seen before. And she beat these girls not just by like 1/8 of a second, but like, I don't remember how much, but people were like out of their seats. And then it turns out that she's a 70-year-old grandmother.
No.
And she's a rancher. And she's been barrel racing and just kind of flying under the radar. And she won every day of the radio, and she took home like $70,000.
Oh,
and I get goosebumps just saying it, right?
Huge goosebumps just thinking.
Yeah. She was amazing. Yeah. And so I walked away thinking, she has no idea that she inspired me. She has no idea that I'm going to walk home and write a 1,200-word blog post that went viral because other people want to get inspired as well.
Yes.
And so that brings me to my 3 points. And that is, number 1, find 3 people to inspire you. It's great to have one, but you need a variety of people speaking into your life. And we all know you are the 5 people you surround yourself with. So get close to people who are living how you want to live, who have met the goals that you want to meet, and who inspire you. That's number 1. Number 2, read and watch regularly inspirational stuff. We have such limited time. Binge watching Netflix is fine, but think about what you're putting into your brain. And when you have the choice, make sure that you are trying to put in positive. There's so many great podcasts out. There's so many great YouTube channels. There's great Facebook Lives like Erin does almost every day that are positive and inspiring. And we need to constantly be feeding our brain that, because it creates chemical reactions that nurture positivity, that nurture being accomplished and, you know, getting across the finish line on stuff. So I think that's really key. And number 3 is be inspiring. So whether it's calling somebody, encouraging them, or, you know, volunteering or whatever it is, it helps you too. It helps you get to your goals. It helps you be constantly having that feeling of inspiration when your bucket feels a little low. Doing something for someone else, showing gratitude, being encouraging, being inspirational, fills that right up. So those are my 3 little closing tidbits.
I love them. I love those 3 so much. And I love your story about the 70-year-old. I have to check.
I know, I love her. Her name's Mary Burgert. Mary Burgert, if you want to look her up.
We're going to look you up and follow you. That made me just think, though, of, I shared a picture of my grandmother, and I surprised my...
Oh, I loved that picture.
So I surprised my grandmother on Monday night. I had a one-day intensive with a client in Seattle on Tuesday, and my grandmother lives in Seattle. I knew I was coming because I didn't know, like, I knew I was going to see her, but I didn't know when, so I didn't want to get her hopes.
Yeah.
So I went into her room, I surprised her, and it was so amazing. And she's like, "It's
Erin, did you think about the fact you were surprising a 95-year-old woman? Did that one run through your brain at all? Like, the poor woman could have had a heart attack."
Here's the reason why. I'll tell you why. Because she is one of the first female marathoners. She's born like generations before her time. That's what made me think this story when you said about the barrel racer. She was born like generations before her time. We used to race together. My mom actually just sent it. My dad's visiting right now. A picture that's one of my favorites. We both run our age groups together in this race. I have to share it soon. It's one of my favorite pictures ever. And she's now fallen so many times because she keeps trying to do everything still. Right? Because that's why I wasn't being too scared. Like, because she's 96, like going, I wasn't that because of the fact that the woman has got 20 lives in her. I mean, she's so amazing, but she's one of my huge inspirators. So when you're talking about my grandma actually won this one race with me. This one picture is when she was 70 and I was 16, and so it was so much fun. But that's one of the key features that I've been around since I was born, right? So
it's so key.
Inspiring women like that, and men too, of course, but put themselves out there and share their stories, and you sharing this other woman's story, that inspires so many people as well, because the fact that, you know, the more that you keep going and changing and evolving. My grandma was hysterical. She goes, "So where are we going to watch?" I'm like, "Are we going to do wheelies up and down in your wheelchair? What are we doing, grandma?" And it was so cute because on Tuesday morning when I did take her out to coffee, she goes, "Do we got the wheelies?" I'm like, "Oh, grandma, don't worry. Wheelies, right?" Up and down.
Oh my gosh. I loved that you did a unicorn with her, like the face thing. And that was hysterical.
We were laughing, we were crying. I kept doing different apps. That was actually the second time I've done the face apps, which is funny because my mom has 3 kids. You'd think I'd do them more often.
Yeah.
But We were laughing so hard. She kept going, "This is brilliant. This is magical. This is so funny." And I screenshotted them to print out to send back to her,
Oh,
week.
yes.
So
oh, that's brilliant.
Because it was,
oh my gosh. And she looked, first of all, you two look alike, and she looks so full of life.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, she looks amazing.
It was just, but sorry, I didn't mean to turn to grammar, but when you said
no,
all it made me think of was, I bet my grandma's probably done that before too, because she's traveled the world doing crazy adventures forever.
So great.
Yeah. So that
and I love.
We're 96. That will be us, Heather. We're gonna be.
Yeah, of course. Totally it will.
Cycling.
I love it. I saw a picture recently of Ernestine Shepherd, and many people know who she is. She started working out at 50. She's now 83, I think, and fit as a fiddle. And I think one thing to leave people with is, and this is happening in my change group too, is I'm identifying there are so many people, and a lot of women in particular, who at 45, 50, or 55 or 60 say, well, I'm old, so I can't really do all that stuff, or I can't. And it's like, find some of these women who have started at 50 and who look phenomenal, and it's doable. Don't put yourself in a box. You can accomplish so many things you don't even realize. Mm-hmm. And it's not going to be your body holding you back, it's your mind. So we'll just blow the walls off that.
Yes, that's what we're going to finish it with right now, because that is
awesome.
Inspirator little nugget right there. Okay, Heather, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it as always. It is so good to see you, to spend time with you. And I know that the people watching and that will be sharing this with all of their friends who are watching have gotten so
please share
nuggets. So please share. We'll put the links in right down below, and have a because you are all your own inspirators. Bye, you guys.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Goodbye. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Bye.